welcome to another episode of Wednesday Wanderings with Trailways Travel. I have some special guests with me here today. I have some past travelers and future travelers with me. This is Pam and Sheila. And I just thought maybe it'd be fun to have them come in. They had expressed about how they had such a wonderful time on our June Cape Cod Adventure tour, which actually was our first tour that went out, ladies, since this whole pandemic things had started. So I was really glad to see that we got it off the ground and going, and hopefully you all appreciated that as well. I got lots of phone calls after the fact of everyone thanking us for making it operate. So tell me a little bit about your tour itself. Was there anything in particular that really stood out to the two of you? Maybe your comfort level while on the motor coach or once you had arrived?
I felt very comfortable.
I did too.
Everybody was very courteous of one another with the masks, and we didn't have to wear them all the time.
Right.
So that was a nice thing.
Which is true. So currently right now on the motor coach, we are leaving it at you as the passenger's discretion as to whether or not you want to wear your mask. But also be aware, remember the fact that we do have our EnviroCare system aboard the motor coaches, which does sanitize the surfaces and purifies the air that comes into the motor coach constantly. So, yeah, good
Yeah, we
point.
did wear them on some of the off coach. You know, if you felt like you wanted to wear them and that, you could and that. And we did.
Sure.
Especially if there was a lot of people.
And I think that was smart. You know, it's
Like Martha's Vineyard was very,
I bet it was very busy. It's their
so
peak
yeah,
season.
we wore our masks and that just to be safe and that. But weather was beautiful.
What a fun group of people
Yes,
we had.
it was just like family.
Yep.
I mean, we all got to know each other.
That's the thing I always
And,
say. When you
yeah.
first leave, you may not know each other very well, but when you come back,
Yeah.
you come back as a family unit.
Oh, yeah.
You
And
do,
especially
you do.
more so probably on this one because there were only 21
21,
people.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's a neat aspect of the tour itself too. You got probably a little bit more of a hands-on-y experience in getting to know everyone and your host and driver
And they were wonderful.
Wonderful.
good.
We love Jean.
And
Matt.
was
Matt
just
is
awesome
always
driver.
Yes.
I hear that a whole lot, and we're
Yes.
happy to hear that. And
Yes.
we have some great
She was fun.
Great
She was
operators.
just a fun host.
good.
So,
And we had some changes on the tour,
That's right.
and those were unexpected pleasures, I thought.
Right.
Because I think the Batavia Downs was not a planned stop in the beginning, right?
Well, that one actually was
it?
planned.
Okay.
And that was the casino, and
Yes.
everyone
Yes.
had a great
Yes.
time.
won
I think.
$120.
Yay!
We had a really good time.
We
Yeah,
did.
because
We
they
did.
gave all of you, was it $50 worth of
Yes.
free
And
play?
then you got
then you got
25
25
more
more
after
and
so many
25 more.
points.
Oh,
So I
wow.
never
Yeah.
spent any of my money.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that's
didn't
the way to do it,
Yeah.
definitely. But the Hancock Shaker Village, that was your
Oh,
unplanned.
gosh, that was awesome.
One of the
Yes.
places we
Awesome.
were going to go to was no longer available.
Right.
But yeah, some of these added in surprises actually end up being as good or
Yes.
better possibly than what we
It
originally.
was, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was.
All
It
of
was
it.
just a lot of
I'm
fun.
a history buff, so I love the historical part of the things that we've seen, and it was just, yeah.
Great. So I take the impression when you came in to talk to me that you had such a great time and you felt comfortable that you've decided to go somewhere else.
Yes, we have.
Where are you going?
Going on the Branson trip in
Yay!
November.
Yep, and it's coming up, so we do have our Branson brochure here. Currently we have one motor coach. It is right at full. I think I only have 2 seats on that motor coach left available right now. We're hoping we could possibly get back to how we were in the past. We always took 2 motor coaches. And it was a great time too because Ron and Matt would both be our drivers and lots of fun. So that is November 15th through the 18th. And is there, I don't know if you remember some of the things that we're going to go do and see, but is there anything in particular that may have stood out to you when looking at the tour that made you think, hey, we need to go there?
The Titanic interests me.
And I love music, so.
All of those.
All of the, yeah, there was several shows.
Well, Michael McDonald,
Yes.
I've seen him on PBS a lot, and I
Oh,
enjoy
Danny O'Donnell.
Danny O'Donnell, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Seen
And all
him
the
a
ladies
lot.
like Daniel O'Donnell.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, he's very charming.
he is. It's that whole little Irish bit about him, I think. But speaking about the Titanic, have either of you been to one of the Titanic museums yet?
No.
Okay, so I'm not giving anything away, but it's kind of really fun in the sense that when you go in, it's like boarding the ship, and you are issued a passport, and the passport you get is of an actual passenger that was on the Titanic at that time.
Cool.
So then you kind of follow through their little story, pathway through the Titanic itself. Lots of neat exhibits. Be sure and come back and tell me how long you could keep your hand in the water. They have an actual like form of an iceberg with the temperature of what the water was when they went in. And you put your hand in there and figure out how long you can keep it in there. I think mine was only about 35, 40 seconds and it just went numb. But so curious about that. But also there's a lot of different ties to the Titanic. Of course, Hannibal with the infamous Molly Brown. But there actually was a tie to Southeast Iowa. I'm not going to give that away, but I did make arrangements that someone on this tour is going to get to be that person. So we'll have to learn more about that.
See whether we survive or not.
And that's it. At the end, you're totally right. At the end, there is a whole wall there, and you find your passenger, and it will tell if they survived or if they had perished. So, but it's interesting. And the grand staircase, wait till you see that. It's beautiful. So, but we have many other great shows. We're going to the Clay Cooper Theater. I love Clay Cooper. He's just a fun guy. Have you ever seen any of his shows? Oh, you're in for some treats. That one we're going to see the hits of the 60s and 50s, but we have a special extra added to that. We're actually going to let you go backstage after the show, and you're going to learn how they do all those quick change bits they do, because they change costumes many times during that show. So you'll pick up
and 60s are
pick
good,
up some
'cause that's
tips.
our generation.
That's your era.
That's our
You're
era.
totally right.
Pam's era.
Hey.
Close enough.
Well, that was before my
Yes,
era.
before my time,
I don't know if I was even a twinkle in an
Don't
eye yet,
believe her
Pam.
for 1 minute.
So, some of the other things that we will be seeing are, we're going to go see Six. That's the American Bandstand Theater. That's the group of brothers that do everything. It sounds like a band, but it's all vocal.
Wow.
We are going to the Sight and Sound Theater, and this year the play is Jesus, so you'll get to see that. Of course, the Titanic, Danny O'Donnell, but we added in something new. It's called Mansion of Dreams, and it's an illusionist, Rick Thomas. He's world famous. He's actually performed mostly in Las Vegas, so he's basically bringing his Las Vegas act to Branson, so you'll get to see that. Of course, we cannot go at Christmas time and not hit over towards the College of the Ozarks. That has been a big favorite because even those who don't like fruitcake seem to love the fruitcake from there. So they give you tastes, and I was one too who I didn't even want to take the taste, but I was pleasantly shocked and surprised. It was very good. We had skipped going there a year or so and really heard about it because no fruitcake for Christmas. So you'll have to let us know too what you thought about that as well. But I appreciate the two of you coming in. Anything else you'd like to add today, or advice to anyone out there thinking about traveling and maybe a little
Have fun
hesitant?
and travel. Yeah.
It's
It's a fun time.
It is. It makes
They
for
drop
fabulous
you off at
memories.
the door, they pick you up, and you don't have to worry about getting lost. And
You sit back and relax, right?
that's right, you can.
Right. So, okay. Well, I think that's it for today. We look forward to seeing you next week on another Wednesday Wonderings.